If you don't know what you want and you're struggling to manifest because you don't know what you want, or maybe you just don't want to specify what it is, but you still want to manifest something great for yourself. If this is you and you're struggling with manifestation, then stay tuned for the rest of this episode. Manifestation. How do we manifest without desire? This is a big issue that I've had since I first learned about manifestation, to be honest. Every time I would specify, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is it. I want this. This is exactly what I want. I'd hype myself up, do all the techniques, act as if I've got it. Then a month will go by and I'll look at the same thing. I'm like, nah, I don't really want this anymore. Like, this doesn't excite me. And this would happen time and time again, and it would be like, it's like, why do I not know what I want? And part of that was actually, there was some level of fear to get my needs met, which was important to know. Like, there was a genuine fear of, hey, I don't want to specify what I want because that results in consequences. And that was me as a child, that would result in certain consequences. And so I never really specified what it is that I wanted. And what would happen instead, it was just like, I'll just go through these cycles of hyping myself up for something and not wanting it. And really probably tapping into, like, you know, the mainstream things of what you want. Like, you know, everyone wants to, I think pretty much most people would say they want to travel, they want to live maybe like a digital nomad. And although, you know, I still want to do that, or you may still want to do that, it may not be actually, you know, as part of the influence may not be actually for what you like. You may not actually want this, like, completely. It may be influenced by what you keep seeing on Instagram, etc. But what I would see is that I would outgrow my manifestations a lot of the time. And a lot of the time when you know, what happened with me is that I realized that, okay, there's a limitation of my mind of what it is that I can achieve and what I even want. Like, I might say I want this, but the mind only knows the past pretty much, or what it's been shown. And so what if you're desiring something, or you're destined to have something which is outside the scope of what your mind even sees or believes right now? And how can you actually put a finger on that, saying, hey, I want this? And so I realized at some point that, okay, what I probably truly want, that I know I want, maybe I'm not even ready to, like, know this yet. Like, maybe if I knew what it is that I truly came here to achieve or want or do, I might just back out. But the thing is, you always have the feeling, like, you always know when you're going in the right direction and in the wrong direction. And so I would hype myself up thinking this is the right direction. A month later, I'm like, nah, I can't focus on this. And I think part of what happened was, as well as me, you know, evolving at a fast rate, and this is probably happening with everyone right now, like, you're reanalyzing what you want just because you're a completely different person. What also happened to me was when I first came into spirituality and the self-development world, the first book I read was The Power of Now. And even though I probably understood a little of it in my first read, the idea I gathered was that, okay, there's a state I can reach where it doesn't matter what I have or what I want. Like, this state which I can receive in this present moment stumps anything that I could ever experience. And so then this brings you to a mindset, or this seeded in me a mindset of, well, what's the point of desiring anything when I can actually, you know, I can actually be in this present moment and I'm completely fulfilled. Like, most of the time when you look behind, one step behind what you desire, it's because you want to feel a certain way. Okay, why would I want to be a digital nomad? There's a feeling of freedom that I get from it. So really, I want this feeling of freedom. Now, what if you didn't even need this feeling of freedom because you're just completely satisfied in the moment? What happens then? And so this was, I think, also running in the back of my mind all this time up until now, where I'm kind of like, okay, I don't need to specifically desire something, because you manifest every single second, every single moment of your life. You are manifesting. Now this may be like, come as like a whoa, you know, I'll probably shift through a million different moods a million times a day. So how am I able to keep a consistent manifestation? You know, like 1 second I'm angry, next thing, you know, I have a bit of food and I'm satisfied again, and then when I'm hungry again I'm kind of mad. So how can I keep a consistent manifestation of what it is that I want? And the thing is, we all have a average or baseline frequency anyways, and that we could bring in the teachings of the levels of consciousness. We're all at a specific, we all have a specific baseline level of consciousness, so we're always going to be manifesting that as a default. And with the levels of consciousness, there's a group of experiences related to each level of consciousness. Even though each of our experiences are unique, there's a general theme that we're manifesting depending on where we are with the level of consciousness. Certain life experiences, certain challenges, which are actually kind of all the same, but in different flavors for different people. And so when it comes to manifesting, just working on your level of consciousness will ensure that you're manifesting the best possible thing. And what it is actually that I realized, and when I heard this, it was kind of like like this is so obvious, how did I not see this? When it comes to manifestation, you know, for those who want something to focus on, when we speak about manifestation, we're speaking about manifesting a specific frequency, a specific vibration. That's why it's never good enough to just know what you want to manifest. You need to be able to feel it, because you're manifesting that feeling. You're manifesting that vibration. So if we know that, what would you say is the highest vibration that we could even tune into? And that is source. And you know, in one sense, we can't even say highest vibration, because everything comes from the source, which you could also say is awareness. So if we focus on the source, then that means we're always going to manifest the highest possible outcome that we want. The outcome that we can't even fathom right now. So if you don't want to specify what you want to manifest, just focus on source, and there's literally no limit to what you could manifest. And that requires a certain level of trust. And you know, once you've got that level of trust, it requires a certain level of knowing that, hey, I'm always going to manifest the best of me. So again, it may bring up a lot of parts of you that are not trusting to be healed, to be worked through. And that happens with any type of manifestation. Whenever you're focusing on a higher vibration, so to speak, the reason you're not there is because you're on a denser vibration, and so you have to release that density. So either way, there's healing going to be involved, whether you do that through practices in meditation, which you can hit up my website for a free emotional healing bundle, where we go through the subconscious aspects and the emotional healing that you would require to get to your manifestations faster. Or you would have to, you know, go through life experiences, which is kind of a long way to get to that vibration. And so focusing on source is pretty much what I do. If I'm like, okay, I need to focus on something, just focus on source. And then like a little bonus I would give away with this whole manifestation topic in general is your life force energy. Because like I said, we all have a baseline frequency, and you know, life takes a lot from us. It takes a lot to be a human. And so when you up your life force energy, it helps maintain your baseline, it helps maintain your state. And the more life force energy you have, the bigger of a manifestation magnet you are. So you can also just focus on increasing your life force energy, and that will just make you feel amazing anyways, and it will make the whole process of healing, of manifestation easier. So that's it. That's pretty much it. That's the summary. You know, how do you manifest without desire? First, you know, realize that you're manifesting every single second, every single moment, and your baseline is your level of consciousness. Your baseline frequency is mainly what you're going to manifest when you're not focusing on something, especially. You're just going to manifest this. So the best thing you can do is just keep focused on the next step with the levels of consciousness. And in terms of something specific to focus on, like, hey, okay, normally you would desire, like, let's say, traveling or being a digital nomad in this example. You can focus on source instead, because now you've just opened up to any level of manifestation, which is beyond what the mind can comprehend, because the mind has its limitations. The mind, subconscious, the unconscious, has these blocks. So in one sense, it will limit you seeing what you're actually able to manifest. And then the last is focus on your life force energy. Up your energy, up your prana. You'll feel good, you'll feel great, and you'll become a manifestation magnet. And as a last bonus, I wanted to throw in this caveat that happens with manifestation. And that is, you know, again, when it comes to the mind, and it comes to our 3D selves, we've got a bunch of programming, we've got a limited view of things. However, when it comes to our higher self, which is us, but on a higher dimension, we know what we've come here to do. We know how life's going to play out. The higher self knows past, knows present, and knows all the possible future outcomes. And so you may desire something, but you may not get it, not because there's something wrong with you and your ability to manifest, but simply you as your higher self knows that it's not of your highest possible outcome. Right? So I know a lot of us may be focused on manifesting some finances, manifesting love, and when it's not here right now, and that doesn't mean you're not able to manifest. That means that that's maybe not the highest possible outcome, because we just have these default like things that we think, okay, we need this from life, we need to find the perfect lover, we need to make our bag, which we do, definitely do, but each of these things is not higher or less than what you're currently experiencing. Like, what you're currently experiencing could be actually amazing for you right now, and you only realize that in hindsight once you've maybe surpassed that place that you feel like you need to go. Okay, so that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about this. Let me know if you have a specific desire you want to manifest, or do you prefer manifesting without desire and just trust in the flow. And stay tuned for the next episode. And again, if you need support, you can hit me up or just find the free meditations on my website. Wishing you a beautiful day. Speak soon.